In response to the recent increase of teenage suicides, people in cities throughout the Bay Area marched in rallies and held vigils in remembrance of the LGBT young people who have taken their lives as victims of bullying and harassment in schools and universities.
San Francisco, I've got a message for you, a message for the world. The killing must stop. Billy Lucas, age 15.
People in my school tormented me for years because of my perceived sexual orientation. They kept calling me gay and told me to go kill myself. I started to fight back and cussed at them and was suspended from school. I loved my horses and lambs. I spent my last hours with my animals. I called the cops before I took my own life in my barn. I was 15 years old when I was found dead in my grandmother's home on September 9, 2010.
Cody Parker, age 17.
I was a passionate activist who really cared about making school a safe place for all students because I didn't always feel safe myself. I was planning to start a gay-straight alliance at my school. I was 17 when I decided to end my life on September 13, 2010.
Tyler Clemente, age 18.
My college roommate put live images of me on the internet when I was being intimate with another man. I was 18 when I jumped off the George Washington Bridge to end my life on September 22nd, 2010.
Asher Brown, 13.
I was constantly harassed by 4 other students in my middle school. I told my parents I was gay the morning I decided to end my life. I was 13 years old when I shot myself in the head on September 23rd, 2010.
Seth Walsh, 13.
I was openly gay and suffered years of relentless bullying. I was 13 years old when I was found unconscious and not breathing after attempting to hang myself. I spent about 10 days on life support. Then I died on September 19th of 2010.
Harrison Chase Brown, 15.
I was a sophomore at Podra High School. I was active in volunteering and in the Boy Scouts. I loved my dogs, skateboarding, skiing, and longboarding. I gladly signed the organ donation consent on my driving permit, and my family is grateful to report that my heart, liver, kidneys, pancreas, and lung were transplanted after my death. I was 15 years old and took my own life on September 25th, 2010.
Felix Sacco, 17.
I was a student at Saugus High School. I was a quiet, shy young man and liked playing guitar. I jumped from the Lindsfell Route 1 overpass and was transported to Massachusetts General Hospital, where I later died of my injuries. People aren't sure why I took my own life. I was 17 years old when I died on September 29th, 2010.
Raymond Chase, 19.
I was a sophomore at Johnson & Wales University in Rhode Island. I was studying culinary arts. People aren't sure why I took my own life. I was 19 years old when I ended my own life in my dorm room on September 29th, 2010.
Caleb Nolt, 14.
I was a freshman at Northside High School. I enjoyed spending time with my girlfriend Lexi and attending church with her. I liked listening to loud music and talking with my twin brother late into the night. I took my own life because of the alleged gay bashing, even though I may not have been gay. I was only 14 when I ended my own life on September 30th, 2010.
I don't think there's been an abnormal spike. Suicide with the LGBT community has been a problem for a long time, and I think it just got in the public eye, and people are now watching it, and I think that's why we're getting more and more reports. But I think it's always been a problem, and it's a problem that a lot of people are uncomfortable with and just kind of want to not think about because it hurts.
In San Francisco, hundreds gathered in Civic Center in a rally organized by Affirmation, a gay Mormon organization, and marched in silence to Harvey Milk Plaza in the Castro district.
We've all been bullied for something or other that made us different. But to be harassed day after day after day with no support, with fear being the guiding principle. You know, I grew up in the 40s and the 50s. I had to find a different way home every day from school.
Our young people are getting bullied every day in school, and people who should be supporting our youth, teachers, school faculty, the community is not empowered to stand up for those youth and to address the bullying and try to end it.
This wonderful community spontaneous reaction to all of this, the beauty that comes from this, because we want to prevent this. We may not stop it in its tracks, but we can prevent this. And if we save one life, we've done something.
The importance for me personally is that I've lost far too many friends to suicide who for a variety of reasons, but often enough, and overwhelmingly so, because they were harassed, they were bullied, their families didn't support them enough, their religious leaders talked down to them and told them they were worthless. And it breaks my heart that it keeps on going, and it must stop now.
On National Coming Out Day in Marin County, Paula Pilecki of the Spectrum LGBT Center rallied with supporters on the steps of San Rafael City Hall.
It's a time when we can bring our community together and speak out about the fact that we're here. It's time for us to really have an opportunity to be seen and to share our experiences and to tell our stories about who we really are.
She says the national spotlight on Rutgers University freshman Tyler Clementi's suicide galvanized people across the United States in solidarity.
It's one thing when a young person in a small town in the Midwest commits suicide or is brutalized, but it's entirely different when a young and aspiring, very talented, handsome musician from an Ivy League school is bullied and then commits suicide because of that bullying. I think it shocked a lot of people. It saddened me a great deal, but I was also heartened to see that people really do care. And it took that kind of a story to bring people together around that issue.
Amy Zucker Morgenstern, a minister at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Palo Alto, gave a message of hope and support to LGBTQ teens in Mountain View.
If I could speak with the voice of my religion, I would say, we accept you. We love you. We celebrate you the way you are. It's about values like mutual respect and consent and sensitivity and love. That is what makes a moral and a beautiful and a sacred relationship. And when you find that, when you are fortunate enough to find that in your life, we celebrate it with you.
I don't know, hearing about these suicides, it's really struck home for me, both because I do identify as a lesbian and because I've tried to kill myself 3 times. And so it's something where it's really scary, but I also just really want to say that at a certain point, you get to a point where you want to be alive.
Indoors at the Billy DeFrank Center in San Jose, church leaders led supporters in song.
We are a land of many colors, and we're singing for our lives. We are a land of many colors, and we're singing for our lives.
I myself have looked long and hard at all the reasons why I should kill myself, and I don't know why I'm still here. I have far too many friends who have tried, unfortunately have failed, and still too many others who have succeeded. I want my friends back. But we're not going to get our friends back. Instead, we have to work so we don't lose another friend, another daughter, another son, another brother, another sister.
Gay rights advocates are saying that inaccurate and dangerous statements from church leaders gives the green light to some kids to bully, leading to other teens to commit suicide.
Elder Boyd K. Packer, president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, gave a talk in the church's general conference stating essentially that being gay is a choice, that you can change, that you have a moral obligation to change.
We must understand that any persuasion to enter into any relationship that is not in harmony with the principles of the gospel must be wrong. Some suppose that they were preset and cannot overcome what they feel are inborn tendencies toward the impure and the unnatural.
And that seeking to elevate the status of gays, lesbians, transgender, and bisexual people through the law is an immoral effort, and a vote cannot make us anything but second-class citizens. He believes that we are less than unless we become straight.
There are those today who not only tolerate but advocate voting to change laws that would legalize immorality, as if a vote would somehow alter the designs of God's laws and nature.
He's making suggestions the church itself had backed away from 10 years ago, and he's put them back out there for everyone. And it's a tragedy that he's rolling back through his words as an official of the church during the church's most important official function.
To stem the tide of bullying and suicides, advocates say it starts with education and discussion in schools and homes.
Fact of the matter is, we're a media-oriented society right now, and young people have access to media 24 hours a day, and anybody has access to that. So they're hearing negative messages all the time. We need to get into schools, talk to parents, and talk to teachers about having conversations with young people before it escalates into an incident or a violent crime.
And we need to make sure that we can get gay-straight alliances in every school across the country, and that we empower teachers and educate teachers that if they hear students using homophobic, anti-gay language, that they know, and it is their job to stand up and say that is not okay.
We need to convince our parents, our pastors, our apostles that we are killing our children, our friends, and we can't do this anymore. We've lost too much already.
In San Francisco, this is Raymond Donald Hong for Outlook Video.